can't believe that we are seeing breaking news like this in February 2026. Because right now, the Wall Street Journal published a private article yesterday for their subscribers, citing the fact that Americans, more than 2025, more than 2024, more than ever before in history, are leaving America in record numbers. And they're going to a couple of locations that you need to be aware of. See, I have the locations written down because there's a mass exodus happening. Okay? And you need to know where you can go. Americans are going to a few popular places, but in this video, we're going to tell you about the less popular ones that you can live your best life in, because we're a journey with us and we've been outside of America for 6 years.
And look, I wouldn't even say this is breaking news. This is common sense news. This is something that you've been seeing for the past 5, 6, 7, pretty much 10 years. This is something that you really got to take into consideration, because look, this stuff is like, once these people start to put articles out like the Wall Street papers, right? This is something that you really got to pay attention to, because you're going to be stuck in America, or these countries that we are going to talk about. These are the countries that they are looking at. These are the countries that they are used to Americans going to. So you got to have a strategy. As we always say, strategy is key when you are moving outside of America. So make sure you like the video, leave your comments below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. But yeah, let's get into this information, because this is very, very important.
Yes, and again, this was just published on February 25th. You're seeing this video February 27th. So it says from the Wall Street Journal, last year, the U.S. experienced something that hasn't definitively occurred since the Great Depression. More people moved out than moved in. We gotta just pause right there, because we gotta slow down. More people moved out of America than immigrants that are moving into the country. Now, people always say so many people are coming into America, but the stats say for this year, not really. Not that many people are moving to America. In fact, everybody's moving out. Now, the Trump administration has hailed this as an exodus, a negative net migration, as the fulfillment of its promise to ramp up deportations and new visas. But beneath the story, the optics of that immigration crackdown, however, lies a less noticed reversal. America's own citizens are leaving in record numbers, replanting themselves and their families and their generations in lands they find more affordable and safe. Shout out to the Wall Street Journal for that, because 2 minutes is all that it takes to hear this headline and discern what's happening. When reporters like this describe Americans replanting overseas, they choose their words very carefully. This isn't a story of desperation. It's a story of leverage, of American citizens saying, you know what, enough is enough. I make enough US dollar. I've been in corporate. I've been in healthcare. I've been in whatever agency and system I've been in. I think I can take those skills, take my resources, sell my house, and move overseas. We did it in 2020, okay? Now, people are leaving because they want a more peaceful life, a lower cost of living, and purchases that are something more rare than just a square foot advantage. Stability. That's what people are looking for.
Yeah, long-term stability is very key. It's very key, because we see like the things that's happening in America is falling, right? This is something that you should know, especially if you're watching this channel. If you are tuning in to Journey with us, you catch our videos, you should already know, like, hey, America's falling, Babylon's falling. You should know this already. So what are you going to do about it? You cannot sit around no more. You really can't. You can't just be sitting there just reading stuff like this and think that it's okay. They are literally normal, right? It's a 90% leave rate.
I don't know. I didn't see the percentages.
It's something high. It's something very high. A lot of people are leaving. And Wall Street Journal is talking about this. This is something that the people that is in finance is talking about.
Right.
You have to follow the money. This is what we are starting to realize. Like, once you really start to get into investing and trading and stuff, you start to follow the money and seeing how the money is moving, seeing where the money is moving. And this, I'm telling you, this is big news right here.
It is.
It's not breaking news. It's news that you should be already seeing, that's already happening, that should like really just hit you in the face and be like, whoa, I'm gonna be stuck in America, or I have to have a plan to get out of America.
Right.
So there's certain countries that you really need to pay attention to. And this is what we talk about in our program, the Mature Adult Intensive, because we can't like really give people this information that it goes in one ear and out the other. Like, people that is serious, they really take it serious. They really want a plan. They really want a strategy to really be sustainable long term.
Yes, and they have been more successful than our clients in previous years. Obviously, the longer you're in business, the higher your success rate is. But choosing the right countries that have 5-year, 10-year residencies, renewable after 5 years to 20-year permanent residency, that's what it's all about. But before we get into that, before we get into the most popular countries and the most rare countries that Americans move to, you need to understand the phrase negative net migration. It sounds sterile, almost bureaucratic, but underneath is something intimate. Families deciding where they want to grow old, where to raise children, where stress no longer taxes the body with compound interest, because we know stress is a killer, or if you don't know, you should know. Just being in America itself can kill you. But this is what the headlines don't capture, because this wave isn't random. It's super intentional. Since 2020 and even before that time, Americans have watched fellow Americans move abroad, live their best life. Not only that, but there has been a steep uptake and increase in digital nomad residence permits, temporary permits, temporary residency, permanent residency, citizenship by investment. Americans have more options than ever before, and they are choosing to be Americans still, but outside of America. And America becomes the income engine. The world becomes the lifestyle layer. History shows us that empires do not collapse all at once. It won't just happen in 30 minutes and America disappears and it's not even a thing anymore. Instead, they thin out first. The people leave, the people have no means, they have no foresight, and flexibility goes quiet. Banks will start to close down. They already have closed down. We've been seeing stores close, like Macy's, like, what was that called? Big Lots. There were just like a lot of retail chains closing all together. It could be due to online shopping and a mix of AI and a lot of different things. But this is happening not in protest, but in preparation, because not necessarily because they hate the land, but because they can read the seasons and see that America is on the ultimate downturn, that these Americans are saying, I don't want to be a part of this.
Yeah, you got to think about this too. When Donald Trump got into office and he was talking about these companies, think about all the companies that went to other countries, right? They went to Mexico because the tariffs and stuff like that. They started doing business outside of America because this is where they get most of their business from. Walmart is coming to South Africa. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's certain banks that is coming to Africa.
Discovery is already in Africa. Citibank.
That's what we're trying to tell you guys. Like, things are changing very fast, and it's not going to be like you just got to think about how they do paperwork. They're not going to do paperwork and tell the whole public. They're going to do paperwork behind the doors and then act on that. And then you're gonna pop up somewhere and be like, "Whoa, when did this happen?"
Yeah,
and that's what's happening right now.
And it's prophetic.
They are gonna leave you behind.
Yeah.
So you really gotta pay attention.
They will leave you
behind.
You
really gotta prepare. Just how these big companies is starting to prepare. It's really getting serious. It's really getting serious.
Yes, and if you were to read Jeremiah 51, it talks about how everybody is going to flee Babylon, flee the land of the north, and even in a book that is called the Apocrypha, which means hidden to the Greek, but it's a biblical book. It's in the Ethiopian Bible. It's 2 Esdras, okay? It's like the third or fourth book of the book of Ezra, it says that people will flee Babylon to go back to every man his homeland nation. So people are acting according to prophecy and they don't even realize it. Doesn't matter if it's a Black American, white American, Mexican American, Chinese American, Korean American. Everybody is leaving America, and now the data is catching up to what we've been saying the entire time. Now I want to show you on this whiteboard the American Exodus of 2026, because remember, it's only February, okay? And you can see the most popular destinations: the United Kingdom, France, Germany, okay? All of those are the most popular destinations. Portugal as well, but also pay attention to the least popular ones right here. You can see the least popular ones are Seychelles, Mauritius, Botswana, Rwanda, Senegal. Okay, you can just screenshot and take that image because the American Exodus is happening. Sri Lanka, Kenya, these are the least popular destinations that people are going to, because another part of that Wall Street Journal was also talking about, and you can only see it if you're subscribed privately, so you should subscribe to some private things or just subscribe to this channel if you want to hear about it. But the most popular ones they're saying could be overwhelmed actually by Americans. So France, Portugal, the United Kingdom, they're going to start to be mad. People are already protesting in like Portugal, somewhat in France as well, saying we don't need this many Americans because most Americans are going to those places. United Kingdom, of course, is the easiest one because, you know, they're kind of like the mother of America, so to speak. So they speak English, and that's where America had gotten their independence from, right? So a lot of people are choosing those nations, but here on this channel, we teach our clients to choose the least thought about nations, okay? The ones people are like, I've never even heard of that. Mauritius, Sri Lanka, Kenya, Botswana, Rwanda, Senegal, Côte d'Ivoire, Cape Verde, which is an island on the west coast of Africa. There are so many to choose from, and the ones that I just named, they all have some type of digital nomad visa or temporary residence or some type of retirement permit that lasts 5 to 10 years. Yeah, like literally 5 to 10, and then once you get to 10, you can be a 20-year resident, okay? Now, if you are over 50, you're like, oh, I probably wasn't even gonna be on Earth that much longer. So you just get to live out the rest of your days in peace. And Americans are seeing this because Portugal, Spain, they have all these similar types of systems, but now it's coming to Africa. Now it's coming to South Asia, where people are seeing, and these governments are saying, oh, this is advantageous to bring these super skilled people, because the vast majority of Americans are skilled, more skilled than most people that live outside of America, because we've had to climb the corporate ladder. We've had to climb the healthcare ladder. We've had to climb the law ladder. Or you've had to climb the electrician ladder. You've had to climb the plumber ladder. And so where in other countries they're doing more small projects and things of that nature, you may have been working on an engineering pipeline worth $312 million. You may have been working as a fraud analyst in Chase Bank, which is the biggest bank that basically exists on earth. You may have been in finance and law and healthcare. And so you're taking these abilities and these skills, you're starting your own business, and you are getting residency abroad, and it is a beautiful, beautiful thing to do. Go to www.journeywithusmovetoafrica.com/services to check out the Mature Adult Intensive. And if you like what I'm saying from the business perspective, you've been watching the Introvert Marketer podcast, check out the link in the description and go to www.tiffygwrites.ai, because things are changing so quickly and we do not want you to get left behind.
Yeah, the information's out here. The information's out here, family. You just gotta heed and listen. It's not time to think that you can't do something that is uncomfortable, because you can, and we are living proof of it. With a big family, with 6 children, you get what I'm saying? There's things that you can do, and it's not gonna wait on you. The longer you wait, the more difficult it's going to be to get out of America. So that's what's literally happening right now. The longer you wait, the more difficult it's going to be to get out of America. And this is not a joke. This is like we always say, this is life or death. Because you are living in a society that is falling. You are living in a society that is going to crumble.
And it's stressed to the
Step by
max.
step. Yeah, level by level, I'm telling you. These things that's happening, the Wall Street Journal, like that's finance.
Crazy.
That's finance.
Big. Yeah, the Wall Street Journal covers like huge stories that impact politics a lot, finance, geopolitics, some of the world's biggest stories, and this is what they're publishing. And it's basically America sending out a warning because they have to let you know what's going to happen before it happens and give you this leeway to let you know a lot of people are leaving because this next phase in America, you're not going to be getting out when AI rules America, when AI rules the UK, when AI rules Germany. You're going to want to go to these places like Rwanda, like Botswana, like Seychelles, like Sri Lanka, like Mauritius.
We're still catching
some
up.
of these places that are really considerably far behind, because that becomes an advantage to you, because in the age of AI, your leverage and the benefit of you being you is you being a human. Because what's happening in the West,
really, because
it's not looking too good.
It's so much, guys. I'm telling you, it's so much, because we just did a video about AI in the data centers.
Go watch
and
it.
How much water they use per day. It's not per year, talking about per day. And it's a lot. And this is where the AI data centers is going to be. In America, a couple countries, I think we said Germany. There's a lot of countries, so you got to think, you got to have a plan. You got to be strategic about your next move. You got to be wise. So, hope you guys enjoyed this information. I know it's a lot, but please listen. It's really getting it's really getting down to the time where it's not time to play. It's really not time to play. It's time to get serious. It's time to really have a plan and be wise with the next steps that you're going to take. It's time, family. So make sure you like the video, check the links in the description, and we will talk to you in the next one. Shalom.
Shalom.